She is dead.
I don't think he did.
Is he breathing? Hope I didn't kill him.
Help me! Help!
I'm not breaking anyone's heart.
Welcome to 911 Cam, home of the wildest police dashcam footage. Today we're switching gears to something darker. We're diving into 6 shocking cases where cops completely lost their way. These aren't your typical traffic stops gone wrong. These are stories that'll make your blood boil and question everything you thought you knew about law enforcement. Number 1. The blind and deaf Shih Tzu. In May 2024, in Sturgeon, Missouri, a 13-pound Shih Tzu, blind and deaf, became the victim of a police officer's reckless decision. The dog, owned by Nicholas Hunter, had wandered away from home and was found by a neighbor who fed it and called for help. The dog was calm, confused, and posed no threat to anyone.
Oh, man. What happened to you?
When the officer arrived, he found the small dog wandering around, clearly disoriented, but not aggressive. Bodycam footage showed the officer attempting to use a lasso to catch the dog, but instead of being patient or calling for backup, he made an unthinkable choice. He pulled out his weapon and shot the defenseless animal. The officer's justification was weak at best. He claimed he didn't know the dog's medical condition and thought it might be suffering. But the footage told a different story. The dog wasn't showing signs of distress or pain. It was simply a confused, disabled pet trying to navigate a world it couldn't see or hear. Nicholas Hunter arrived on the scene to find his beloved pet dead. The confrontation that followed was captured on bodycam, showing a grieving pet owner demanding answers from an officer who clearly hadn't thought through his actions. The officer admitted he had tried to catch the dog with a lasso, but claimed he felt threatened, despite the dog's small size and obvious disabilities.
I'm here talking to the officer that shot my dog, who is the person that found my dog and called joint communication, and I have spoke with her, and she has stated that the dog, she fed him, gave him water, and he was not fed, and she was just waiting, which nobody ever contacted her after she called joint communication, at which time she went outside.
I can respond to that.
What made this case even more disturbing was the officer's lack of remorse. He seemed more concerned with defending his actions than acknowledging the unnecessary death of a harmless animal. When Nicholas pointed out that the dog was blind and deaf, weighing only 13 pounds, the officer's response was dismissive. He kept repeating that he didn't know the dog's condition, as if that justified using lethal force as a first resort.
This is to be known on record, my dog is completely blind and completely deaf.
My guy, look at this.
A 13-pound
What
Shih Tzu.
does that say right there? Does it say no contact? She said don't call her. Now, if you want to talk, I'll talk to you happily.
That's not how you handle a situation. If a dog is a threat to a person and harms a person or shows immediate threat, that's when you use force. There is many other
Do you want
tactics
to talk or you want to tell me how to do the job?
The community was outraged when the footage went public. Pet owners and animal rights activists demanded justice, but the police department's response was typical. They released a statement saying the officer had acted within his authority and promised additional training for handling animals. For Nicholas, this wasn't enough. His pet was gone, and the officer who killed it faced no real consequences. Case 2. A homeless man beaten by a police chief. In June 2023, Key West, Florida, became the setting for a disturbing incident involving an off-duty police chief from Ohio. Chad McCardle, the chief of police from Boston Heights, Ohio, was in town for what should have been a relaxing vacation. Instead, he ended up arrested after a violent encounter with a homeless man.
A police chief is arrested and charged while on vacation after he allegedly attacked another man, beat him up, and claimed he may have committed murder.
McCardle's version of events was that he had been attacked by multiple men who dragged him into a car and beat him. He claimed self-defense, saying he grabbed a stick and fought back, possibly killing one of his attackers. But as officers investigated, witness accounts painted a very different picture.
What's going on, man? Okay.
Stab in the face.
I literally just walked by and said I'd call.
What happened, sir?
I don't know. 3 guys drove me in the car and pulled me in the, and they drove me south.
All right, thank you. You're the best.
In the face too.
Hey, you sing?
What'd they stab you with?
Right here, he hit me probably 3 or 4 times.
I just called
really fucking hard.
The homeless man, identified as Joe, told officers that McCardle had attacked him unprovoked. According to Joe, he was minding his own business when McCardle approached and kicked him in the back, knocking him to the ground. When Joe hit the pavement, McCardle continued kicking him and threatened to kill him.
And he kicked me in the back.
Kicked you?
Yeah. I mean, out of the blue.
If you could describe this guy, what did he look like?
About your size.
Okay, what was he wearing?
I don't know. But
Did you notice anything that you'd be able to pick out?
I would say he was blonde or redheaded.
Okay.
Bodycam footage captured McCardle's erratic behavior and his casual admission that he might have killed someone. What was most disturbing was his attitude. He seemed almost proud of his actions, repeatedly mentioning his position as a police chief, as if it gave him the right to assault a vulnerable person.
But I'm pretty sure I killed one of them.
You think you killed one of them?
Yeah, like he started kicking me right in the fucking nose, and I was like, dude, I'm like whatever, and
Where did you walk from? Do you know?
down here, and I started fucking screaming. I'm like, would you guys
Show me where you
Yeah,
walked from. Sorry. Walk with him for a second.
The officer investigating the case seemed skeptical of McCardle's story from the beginning. The supposed attackers that McCardle described were nowhere to be found, and his injuries didn't match his claims of being beaten by multiple people. Meanwhile, Joe had visible bruises consistent with being kicked and beaten.
Kind of.
Your
Okay.
size.
Did you do anything to him when he kicked you?
No.
No.
I hit the ground. Matter of fact, my back is screwed.
McCardle was arrested and charged with battery, but the case took a tragic turn when Joe passed away from unrelated causes just weeks later. With no victim to testify, prosecutors dropped the charges. This outcome highlighted a major problem in the justice system: how cases involving vulnerable populations like the homeless often fall through the cracks.
All right, turn around, put your hands on your back. We're going to detain you right now. We've got another investigation. All right.
The incident raised serious questions about how those in power can abuse their authority, even when off duty and in another state. For many, it was a stark reminder that a badge doesn't automatically make someone a good person. Case 3. Mistaken identity leads to excessive force. In May 2024, Deputy Michael McMaster of Sturgeon, Missouri, was responding to a call about a suspicious person trying to break into cars. The suspect was described as wearing a hoodie and carrying a backpack. When McMaster spotted 30-year-old Tyler Canaris walking to work, he immediately jumped to conclusions.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Get your hands in your pockets. Turn up your chains, bud.
Excuse me.
You're being detained, bud. Don't take your backpack off. Take your backpack off.
Excuse me. What am I doing?
Take your backpack off.
Tyler was simply trying to get to his job when his life was turned upside down. He was crossing the street, minding his own business, when the deputy's vehicle suddenly appeared. McMaster ordered Tyler to stop, but didn't explain why or what was happening. This lack of communication set the stage for what would become a traumatic encounter.
Can you explain what this is
Before
for?
you go on the ground, take your backpack off.
I'm going to get picked up for work.
Come on. Since we want to play this game.
Sir.
When Tyler hesitated, confused about why he was being stopped, McMaster became aggressive. The deputy ordered Tyler to remove his backpack and put his hands behind his back, but still offered no explanation. Tyler, understandably scared and confused, tried to explain that he was just going to work.
Put your hands behind your back.
This is my phone.
Put it down.
Can you tell me what's going on?
Just put your hands behind your back before you end up on the ground.
I'm trying to drop my phone.
The situation escalated quickly when McMaster decided Tyler wasn't complying fast enough. Without warning, he body slammed Tyler to the ground and handcuffed him. The impact was severe enough that Tyler cried out in pain, repeatedly stating that he was innocent and just trying to get to work. Bodycam footage captured the entire encounter, including Tyler's distress and the deputy's aggressive behavior. McMaster seemed to take pleasure in his show of force, mocking Tyler for acting like a child and telling him he was older than me, act like a man. This kind of verbal abuse added insult to the physical injury.
I'm not breaking anyone's heart.
Hands behind your fucking back.
I'm just going to work.
You dumb bastard.
Oh my God. I'm just going to work.
They don't know where we are.
Help me. I'm just going to work.
You got that? Yeah.
I'm just going to work. Ow. Ow.
I don't know that.
Ow, please.
Yeah.
I'm getting picked up from work, please.
921.
Please help me.
Shut the fuck up. Get up.
I'm going to work.
Your traffic pardon.
Ow. Ow.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Get up.
Ow.
We're 95 1 minute.
Ow.
When other officers arrived and searched Tyler's backpack, they found exactly what you'd expect from someone going to work: a water bottle and some personal items. No weapons, no stolen goods, nothing that would justify the violent takedown. Despite this, Tyler was still charged with obstruction of justice. The case gained public attention when the footage was released, and the community's outrage was swift. McMaster was eventually terminated for excessive use of force, but the damage to Tyler was already done. He filed a lawsuit against the department, seeking justice for the physical and emotional trauma he endured. This case became a stark example of how assumptions and poor training can lead to the abuse of innocent people. Case 4. Death in police custody. Tony Timpa had called police for help after taking illegal drugs and suffering adverse effects. He was dealing with schizophrenia and hadn't taken his medication, making his condition critical and requiring urgent medical attention. What should have been a rescue turned into a tragedy that would expose the worst of police conduct. When officers arrived, they found Tony in distress, clearly needing medical help rather than force. The officers had Tony restrained and in handcuffs, claiming he was a danger to himself. But one officer took it a step further, pressing his knee into Tony's back and using his body weight to pin him down for over 15 minutes.
Relax, man. Just stay down.
Hey,
Tony.
No!
Tony.
Stop it.
Oh no, please.
You're gonna be all right.
Tony repeatedly cried out that he was down, begging the officers not to hurt him. But his pleas fell on deaf ears. The officers waited for medics to arrive while keeping Tony in this dangerous position for an extended period. What happened next was the most tragic part. Tony reached a point where he ceased breathing, but the officers failed to notice or acknowledge this critical detail.
Well, he was trying to get on the bus. I was trying to stop him.
Hey.
That's all we got.
Help me!
Tony Timpa.
No! No! Help me! Don't do it! Oh, down.
Instead of recognizing a medical emergency, the officers assumed Tony was either asleep or pretending to sleep. Their casual conversation revealed their shocking indifference to his condition. One officer joked about how much Tony had been squirming earlier, saying if he had been squirming that much, he'd be sleeping too.
Go! Oh God, this sucked.
You're gonna be all right.
Tony, relax. Tony, relax. Tony, relax. You don't need to be squirming, man.
Stop.
We're trying to get you help, man.
Okay.
Stop.
All right?
Okay, stop. I stop. I stop. I stop. Please let me feel.
The officers continued their casual banter, completely oblivious to the fact that Tony was dying beneath them. They made jokes about school and breakfast, treating the situation like a routine encounter rather than a life or death emergency. It wasn't until much later that they realized something was seriously wrong.
He finally said, yacht club in Rockwell.
Okay. Will you let me go, please?
Hey, Tony.
Will you let me
help
go?
you out, man. Just relax.
Okay. I'm in. Fuck yeah. What is it?
Just another day?
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
I think that's it.
When they finally checked on Tony, the horrifying reality set in. He wasn't breathing. The officers who had been joking moments before suddenly panicked, realizing they might have killed him. They began administering chest compressions, but it was too late. Tony had died while in their custody, killed by the very people he had called for help.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, don't fall off now. I don't want him to fall.
Is he knocked out or he ain't dead, is he?
Nah, he just moves.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll go free.
He didn't just die down there, did he?
I don't think he did.
Is he breathing? Hope I didn't kill him.
What's all this weed shit?
I'll light it.
I love how this became a we. Yeah, we ain't friends.
What made this case even more disturbing was the officers' reaction after realizing what had happened. Their casual attitude quickly turned to fear as they understood the gravity of their actions. But by then, the damage was done. Tony was dead, and his family was left to grieve a man who had simply needed medical assistance.
Yeah, he's not breathing.
He's not breathing?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Fire. Come on.
Nah, he ain't breathing, bro.
Well, put on some gloves when he's chest compressions.
Fuck. He ain't breathing.
So he was fighting and then just gave up.
Hey, I've got his mom on the phone and she knows all this stuff.
He's dead.
He's what?
He's dead.
Well,
The officers involved faced no arrest or criminal charges, protected by qualified immunity laws that shield police from accountability. This case became a symbol of how the system fails those most in need of help, turning a call for assistance into a death sentence. Case 5. The tragic death of Lisa Edwards. In February 2023, 60-year-old Lisa Edwards found herself caught between two systems that failed her completely. After being discharged from a Knoxville, Tennessee hospital despite her obvious medical needs, she became the victim of police officers who showed no compassion for her desperate situation.
Ma'am, what's your name?
My name is Lisa Edwards.
Okay, Miss Edwards. They said you have already talked to the doctor. You listen to me. I'm talking. You've already talked to the doctor. You've already been discharged from the hospital. They want you gone. I'm talking.
Yes, sir.
I understand you say you got some problems going on. You're going to have to find a way to get out of here. Okay? I don't want this to turn into a situation where you have to go to jail.
Lisa had suffered a stroke and had limited mobility, making it impossible for her to leave the hospital on her own. When she pleaded for help, explaining that she couldn't walk and had nowhere to go, both hospital staff and police officers dismissed her concerns. They accused her of faking her condition and treated her like a criminal rather than a person in medical distress.
If you're looking for somewhere to go because you're cold, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking you to jail just because you're cold.
No, I don't want that.
Well, they said that you've been checked. The doctors have discharged you.
I'm not
You have no reason to be
for
here.
a homeless person. I shattered my ankle and I had a stroke.
Well, if the medical professionals have saw you and discharged you,
They won't.
I got nothing to do with. I got nothing to do with that then. But you got to get going.
I can't even get down there.
You're gonna have to figure out a way to get going.
The body cam footage from this incident is particularly hard to watch. Lisa repeatedly explained her medical conditions, the stroke, her shattered ankle, her inability to walk. But instead of showing compassion or calling for medical assistance, the officers grew impatient with her. They accused her of being dramatic and putting on an act.
I can't. You're gonna break
Yes, ma'am. You're gonna have to get in
my
there.
ankle. I can't breathe.
You've been medically cleared, ma'am. This is not gonna work. So we need you to help us. Ma'am, you need to get in there.
What made this case even more tragic was how obvious Lisa's distress was. She wasn't just claiming to be unable to walk. She was clearly struggling with basic mobility. She collapsed multiple times trying to comply with the officers' demands, but they interpreted this as resistance rather than genuine medical emergency.
Oh my fucking Jesus, Lord, Mary, goats.
You don't have an inhaler. Well, we can't find it. We've looked everywhere. We can't find it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my.
You do not have an inhaler, but you have 6 packs of cigarettes, ma'am.
I do have my.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to stand up, and I'm going to ask you to help me.
The officers' language throughout the encounter was cruel and dehumanizing. They called her dead weight and accused her of putting on an act. When she begged for help getting into the police van, they threatened to charge her with additional crimes if she didn't comply. One officer even suggested she was faking her breathing problems, pointing out that she had been smoking cigarettes earlier.
Listen to me. You're gonna pick your legs up and you're gonna get in here.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
There's not enough room for him to be in there.
Yeah, no, that's the whole problem.
I mean, it's not. It's room for one.
You're going to put your feet up.
The attempt to get Lisa into the police van was painful to watch. She collapsed repeatedly, clearly unable to support herself, but the officers insisted she was being uncooperative. They physically tried to force her into the vehicle, ignoring her cries of pain and pleas for help.
Get up there and quit with this bullcrap. You're acting, and we're going to jam you in a spot smaller. We're trying to help you here. Get in there. It's bigger and you're by yourself. You have more room. You're going. Stop. Don't put your hand down.
Please, I gotta go back.
Tragically, Lisa suffered a fatal stroke while in the back of the police van. She died the next day, making this case not just about police misconduct, but about a completely preventable death. The officers only realized the severity of her condition when she became unresponsive, by which time it was too late. The aftermath of Lisa's death sparked national outrage. Critics pointed to the complete failure of both the healthcare system and law enforcement to protect a vulnerable person in crisis. While some officers faced minimal disciplinary action, many felt this was far too little, too late. Case 6. Insensitive jokes after a fatal crash. In January 2023, Seattle police officer Kevin Dave was racing to respond to a suspected overdose when he struck and killed a pedestrian. The crash itself was tragic enough. Dave was driving 74 miles per hour in a 25 miles per hour zone when he hit the young woman, throwing her over 40 meters from the impact. But what happened next shocked the public even more.
Transfer to the overdose 708 The person overdosing is calling it in himself. His name is Alex. He's refused to give the rest of the name. He wants to stay on the phone with us until officers arrive.
The victim was a 26-year-old woman who was simply walking home when the speeding police cruiser ended her life. The impact was so severe that she was killed instantly, her body thrown an incredible distance from where she was struck. This should have been a moment for reflection, for somber recognition of a life lost. Instead, body cam footage captured another officer making callous jokes about the victim's death. His comments were heartless and dismissive, reducing a human life to nothing more than a financial inconvenience for the city. He laughed while suggesting they could just write a check to the victim's family, putting a price tag of $11,000 on her life. What made these comments even more disturbing was the casual way they were delivered. The officer wasn't angry or stressed. He was joking, as if the woman's death was amusing to him. He commented on how quickly bodies lose color after death, treating the scene like entertainment rather than a tragedy.
That witness could be different because I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead.
The officer later claimed his remarks were sarcastic and directed at city lawyers rather than the victim herself. But this explanation fell flat with the public, who saw the footage as evidence of a disturbing culture within the police department. How could someone joke about a young person's death, regardless of who the comments were supposedly aimed at? The victim's family was left to grieve while dealing with the additional trauma of knowing how callously their loved one's death was treated. They had lost a daughter, sister, and friend, only to discover that her life was treated as a joke by those who were supposed to serve and protect.
No, it's a regular person. Yeah. Yeah, just write a check. Just, yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
This case highlighted broader issues within law enforcement culture, the tendency to dehumanize victims and treat tragic incidents as routine occurrences rather than devastating losses. It raised questions about training, accountability, and the kind of people who are attracted to law enforcement careers. The investigation into the crash itself found insufficient evidence to charge the officer who was driving, but the damage to public trust was already done. The footage of the insensitive comments became a symbol of everything wrong with police culture and accountability.